Welcome to the Stellar Show, Fayette County TV, Channel 77Q, Call Breeze Life. Myself, Ken Philibov, Stellar's Collectible Shop inside the Uniontown Mall owner, Victor Mullick. And don't let me forget Fayette Friends of Animal alum, the Duke. The Stellar Show state of emergency is over. We're back, and what's going on in the shop, sir?
Everything's good. This is officially Super Bowl week. We've got a couple days until the Super Bowl. Everybody's trying to tell me picks and convince me which way to go. I'm still out on a limb right now. I don't know which way the NFL has cheated this at this current time to pick the game. But later in this, I'm gonna make Ken do a little bit of a parlay himself for the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? I haven't read any storyline spoilers on the Super Bowl for this weekend, so I don't know what to tell you there.
Well, you let me in on how you determine how you're going to do things, so we're going to show everybody exactly how you do pick games later on.
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you how we're picking the Super Bowl. We're going to do it like I did the conference championships.
That's what I'm saying. Way to kill the lead or the tease.
That's all right. You're supposed to brief me on that. It's kind of on you.
We are flying by the seat of our pants today. We're just getting around to getting back to normal after the snowmageddon that came through here, and the parking lot is still pretty much frozen snow.
And I got to give credit to, speaking of all the craziness we dealt with, the vehicles that did the best jobs on the roads last week all had Mike Kelly Toyota of Uniontown plates on them. That's Mike Kelly Toyota of Uniontown, where it's about trust. With a wide range of automotives to choose from, we make your car buying experience enjoyable. Come see why generations have chosen us for their automotive needs. And I think this guy was about to choose your store for something, but he's going to have to come back.
Yeah, and that wasn't planned on that throw over. That's what you call professionalism right there. That's why he's one of the best in the business.
Yeah, right.
So the big story.
Yes, sir.
Let's just start. We'll probably talk about it for a long period of time. The Pittsburgh Steelers have announced a new head coach.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on that?
They're kind of all over the place. I'll say this. I could knock it, but I'll take it over some of the names I heard. I didn't want these Shulas and some of these other. I'm over these analytic geeks getting these positions that should be held by men, right? Kraft, Penn State. Anyway, but like I said, let me get back on track. But I was, you know what? I like McCarthy because I would like to see Aaron Rodgers come back for another year. I think that helps that. But long term, you just went from mediocre Mike to above mediocre Mike.
My question is, what made Rooney choose him?
I think part of it was he spent some time at Pitt. I really believe that factored in because the people that know this particular one close, that's why I've been yelling sell the team, because he's blinded by that nonsense. That's why they wasted a first-round pick in 2022. I'll stand by that till the day I die. Mm-hmm. But but you know what? I think the factor of we could get Aaron Rodgers back, and I'll say this, especially since John Harbaugh was off the table, this was not, and Cignetti was not going to make the jump. This was not a good field of coaches to pull from.
No. So if you've ever done, this is my opinion on this, if you've ever went for a job interview, you're going to say what the person hiring you wants you to say. And he walked in there and he did all that Pittsburghese crap, the Yinzer garbage. And for some reason, I think it comes down to one of two things. He either said, I can turn Will Howard into a great quarterback, or I can get you back Aaron Rodgers.
Probably the latter. Everybody saw enough out of, honestly, the people that are on Will Howard, I don't even know why that's a conversation. Anyone that was in training camp knows this guy's just, it's not there. And I had high hopes for him. I was one of the ones. I wanted Shedeur 1, who is a Pro Bowler, and I wanted Will Howard 2. They got Will Howard. It is what it is. But you know what? Aaron Rodgers, get him back for a year, and keep looking because...
See, I caught something this morning as I was getting ready to come in here. One of the guys from Pro Football Focus, I'm not sure who it was, started discussing the DK Metcalf contract. And if you're bringing in McCarthy to win again, there's a big decision to be made with DK Metcalf where by a certain date, a letter has to be sent. And this can go all the way up to the first week of the season where all of his guarantees are gone. and he can be just released. Imagine the Steelers receiving core if they decide to get out of the DK Metcalf contract.
Well,
So you're bringing in McCarthy. This would be the point to blow it up, is where I'm going with this. You could blow up, start over with a younger coach, Cowher, Knoll, Tomlin, well, not Tomlin, but Cowher and Knoll style, where you're going to try to run back something where you're not really in a position to run it back. That's my point on this.
What did I miss with Tomlin? You said because
I threw Tomlin out because he basically had a team ready to go.
a team that went 8-8 the year before he got there.
He won a Super Bowl
2 years before, and that team was gutted. Always conveniently left out of the narrative that Tomlin inherited an 8-8 team with some bad contracts. So yeah, get over it.
Would you say what the Steelers have going into this year with McCarthy is better than what Tomlin had going in then?
I would say McCarthy has better talent than what Tomlin had.
Okay.
I definitely stand by that. That's actually he's got T.J. Watt. He's got Aaron Rodgers. Metcalf. The problem with Metcalf was they had no one playing off of him, and they should have, but they traded him to Dallas because they don't know how to handle these guys. And if you can't handle them, don't draft them.
This is why the Steelers are in an interesting position with Metcalf right now, where you almost have, even if you wanted to get out of this contract, you can't because you have no one else coming back.
Well, you know what though?
And wasting that and spending the first round capital on a wide receiver who would be your only option.
Well, no, I think the play right now is keep Metcalf and look, the cap went up $30 million. They got a lot of cap space to play with.
So does everybody else at that point.
I get that.
You overpay that.
You know what? You got a lot of draft picks. Could they pull off getting Davante Adams?
At 25, you're basically giving up that year's of cap increase to bring Davante Adams here.
But look at that offense. If you have Rodgers, Metcalf, Freiermuth, Adams,
and you're planning on winning the Super Bowl with that.
Oh, well, they got to tweak. Honestly, the only thing holding them back at that point is the defense. It's not the offense. You're
going to go. How, are you keeping Kenneth Gainwell at that point, and where does Caleb Johnson go into that?
Well, that's what the draft's for. They need to find some running backs, and it's unfortunately one of them hurt his foot in the Senior Bowl practice. Singleton.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I missed most of that Senior Bowl thing right now.
Honestly, I just know that from reading it somewhere, but it sounds like...
yeah, at this point, I'll go back to where I was before. I think this would have been the blow-it-up year. And the opportunity, I know there's stories out there that Shula totally blew it. They don't believe Steelhouse, or however you say his name, is ready. You hear a lot of reports, but you're going to hear those things because they decided with McCarthy.
Like I said, I'm glad they stayed away from these young analytic guys because I'm over it. Like, they're all a dime a dozen. Yeah, one got through. That doesn't mean 20 are getting through. Get away from these guys. Go back to getting men. Sorry.
No, I have no problem with that. But I don't like the road that the Steelers would go down if you bring back Rodgers with McCarthy. I think there was a better plan somewhere that is not being utilized.
I think they're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken you know what. And we should probably get to the next segment because we're running a little long. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Stellar Show, Fayette County TV, Channel 77, Q Colin Breezelot, myself, Ken Philbaum. The Duke's just being the Duke right now. At Stellar's Collectible Shop inside the Uniontown Mall, owner Victor Malik, and just looking straight ahead. Let's just jump into it, man. You got a lot of Super Bowl stuff going on here.
First thing we're going to do, this is Super Bowl 60. Of course, it's in San Francisco. They've been having earthquakes all week.
Oh, really?
There's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about some kind of power transformer that the teams don't want to practice next to. Whole lot of crap going on. We're going to pick it here live right now. Seattle is giving 4.5 to the Patriots. The over is 45.5. What do you think's going to happen?
I'm going to rely on Old Faithful. The coin was 2 for 2.
Interesting.
So we're going to see. We're going to go heads Seattle, tails New England. Tails New England.
You're taking the Patriots. Now, here's where this gets fun. I'm a conspiracy theorist all the way back as far as you can go, and everybody's got thoughts on this thing right now. We're going to get to the Hall of Fame voting, where Bill Belichick somehow doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Neither does Robert Kraft. Does the NFL offset that by fixing the Super Bowl for the Patriots? The coin flip has already gone for the Patriots.
Well, you know what? For the record, this is what's got everyone questioning the credibility of the Hall of Fame. Hines Ward should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mongo McMichael, rest in peace, who we talked about when we first started this show, should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. So and like in baseball, I like when people cried a few years back that Jeter didn't get 100%. Ken Griffey Jr., Cal Ripken Jr., Ted Williams didn't get 100%. This is what happens when you leave it in the hands of people with opinions instead of having a clear-cut path. Just my opinion.
If you take a look, we can go into the Hall of Fame talk right now. If you look, the way that this thing is set up is there's an old panel that votes, and 3 of the old finalists are allowed in. There's a lot of going back and forth between some of these 50 voters saying that they want to make sure that the old timers get in. This is why Belichick and Kraft are not being voted in, and this is how you're going to get L.C. Greenwood, Roger Craig, and Ken Anderson. You can only pick 3 on the old timers board. The new board has, I'll run through it real quick for everybody at home: Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Vinatieri, Wayne. Now you get to the point where these are the players that, to me, Hines Ward should be way ahead of.
Absolutely.
Willie Anderson, Jason Witten, I don't believe is as good as people think.
He should be ahead of some of the ones on this other list, too. I'll take Hines Ward over Larry Fitzgerald.
The numbers are probably in Hines Ward's
not
favor.
Even just that. They always favored Fitzgerald. He, as someone that would carry him on fantasy football for a lot of years, I watched him drop more passes than they gave him credit for. But go ahead.
Yeah, so the last ones, this is where this gets embarrassing as bad as the Baseball Hall of Fame. Darren Woodson, some Honda lineman, as well as Jahari Evans. These are not players that Hines Ward...
stand out.
Yeah, this is an absolute travesty right there. So of the names I just ran through, Ken, give me your 5 that you would vote for the Hall of Fame.
So
we're giving you a ballot.
That's including the old timers?
No, the old timers are a separate
so the bottom
thing.
So I'm picking 5 off that bottom list.
5 off the bottom.
Okay, you got to go Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. I will go. Actually, Terrell Suggs is number 1 on this list.
Okay, Suggs over.
Yeah, so Suggs is number 1. These other guys, they don't hold a candle to Suggs. So let's see, we'll go.
While you're thinking, you can have 8 elected.
Okay, it's fine, but we'll you know what? Honestly, I'd go Suggs, Brees.
Keep in mind, Frank Gore is now, I believe, the 4th all-time leading rusher.
I think he's still 3. If he's not 3, he's 4.
Okay.
But then again, that's kind of like that Nolan Ryan argument. His numbers are good because he played forever. So not to take away from
numbers are numbers, though.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, are you respecting them or not? So and plus he came into the NFL with a blown ACL. Mm-hmm. So that's why. Otherwise, Willis McGahee never has a career. So that's
Willis McGahee, who could have been a Hall of Famer without the injuries.
Yeah,
that was a talent.
I know this isn't popular. In my opinion, Fitzgerald's not first ballot. I'm only going to go 3. I'm going Brees, Suggs, and Eli Manning. That's my list.
I believe Larry Fitzgerald has the numbers to be there. I would put Hines Ward with him. I'm not saying...
Yeah, I'm just saying if you can't have Hines Ward on there, I don't see why Fitzgerald's on there.
But Brees and Suggs are locks. You're going to get Luke Kuechly. That's just something that's going to happen. The only difference, Gore with the numbers has to be in there. That you would have to almost question Emmitt Smith's viability as a Hall of Famer if you don't put Gore in.
I mean, that's a valid point. You know what? But if you're going to question Emmitt Smith, I was watching some Barry Sanders highlights the other day because that argument is, he always said Emmitt had a better line. I'm sorry, go watch some of Barry Sanders highlights. You could drive a truck through some of those holes. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the one that I think should be first ballot. Kickers are not as important to football as they should be. Vinatieri won Super Bowls basically for the Patriots.
He was clutching those Super Bowls.
Yeah, so Vinatieri to me is a Hall of Famer. Brees, Fitzgerald, Gore, and Suggs.
I think Morton and Gary Anderson should be in before Vinatieri. So
I think Anderson is.
I don't think either one got in yet. I could be wrong. I know Gary Anderson isn't, but maybe Morton is. Either way. But
the one thing I want to say ahead of time is, how are we finding out that Belichick and Kraft did not get in if these votes aren't supposed to be tabulated already?
Well, those votes should be public. Whenever these guys vote, like, their name should be attached to it, and it should be public record.
But the one thing I do want to say is, it looks like it's official. L.C. Greenwood, who, if he played for any other team, would have been in the Hall of Fame
Agreed.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I remember
punished.
hearing a story that Mike Webster said most of his concussions were due to L.C. Greenwood in practice with the head slaps, which are now illegal in the game. L.C. Greenwood, Jack Ham gave him a tremendous amount of credit in an interview I just read, saying, you know, it's easy to play linebacker behind someone who set an edge like L.C.
And that's funny you say that, and ironic you say that, because it's like, don't punish a guy because he was on a good team. And that's what they did.
And to a degree, Hines Ward is being punished because he's a part of the Steelers, and they have just an unbelievable amount of players in there.
Hines Ward extended a lot of plays with his blocking. Do you got a verdict there on Morton Anderson, or? Oh, sorry, you thought you were looking that up there, Rick. So what else?
Okay, so we got to go back, and I have to come to full circle with this whole thing with picking the Patriots or Seattle. People have known I've been a Brady and a Gronkowski fan.
Who were your picks for the Hall of Fame?
Breeze, Fitzgerald, Gore, Vinatieri, and Suggs. Yeah. I'm never going to vote for Eli Manning, being a somewhat former Patriot
Fair
fan.
enough. Boy, he was, when it mattered, he showed up.
Yeah, I guess so. Should have been a perfect season. Yeah, I'm done.
Very good.
Anyway, so with this, I'm going to take the 3.5. And I'm going to say that this game goes over. I'm going to take the points with the Patriots, and this game goes over.
I'm with you on the over. That's going over.
Yeah. With that, there is a question coming, since we're doing NFL and the end of the year awards. Yep. Your opinion, who was the MVP? I cheated and looked at some of the CBS Sportsline things. It's down to Stafford and Drake May. They give Drake May the MVP in their voting. What do you think the NFL is going to do as far as that goes?
If I'm picking, it's McCaffrey, because he carried me in fantasy football. But
McCaffrey got one vote in that whole thing. So it was May 11 to Stafford with 9. To me, I think Matthew Stafford was the MVP of the league.
That's a fair argument. Like I said, yeah, but I'll tell you what, another reason I say that about McCaffrey, 49ers had a lot of injuries, and that was a banged-up team. He carried them.
Yeah,
he really did.
There's absolutely no doubt. I would love if the Steelers did move away from DK Metcalf. That Juan Jennings, I would pay him $20. That is a football player that would fit really well in what the Steelers are going to try to do this upcoming season.
So who's your pick for MVP? Is Stafford?
Stafford.
Okay.
I 100% feel it's Stafford. So now we're going to look at. Yeah, timed out. I'm done with
You're
that.
Good.
I'm gonna try to get Kenny to do a parlay for the Super Bowl that I'm gonna pay into. Heads or tails on that?
What's the parlay?
I'm asking the questions right now, so you can bet on the Super Bowl. Ken's not a bettor, but everybody knows you can do the heads or tails.
I'll either fire it off or I'll flip the coin.
Okay. Flip the coin.
What do we
for
got?
Heads and tails?
I mean
for the heads and tails of the Super Bowl.
I'm going heads.
Okay, so you got heads. We're going to put that down.
Remember, I was 81% on this last year.
The MVP of the game. You can pick any player.
Even though the coin said New England.
You see my picks right there.
Even though the coin says New England, I think it's going to be Sam Darnold.
Darnold?
Yep.
Okay.
The coin said New England, but I'm picking Darnold.
Okay, and Drake May on the first drive of the first time the Patriots get the ball, does he get 5 yards, 10 yards, or 15 yards rushing?
That when he rushes?
Yeah, his rushing totals at the end of the first drive. The more that he gets, the higher the odds are.
I think he's going to take a sack. It's going to be in the negatives.
In the negatives, okay.
That was just my gut.
Minus yards on that. Jackson Smith-Njigba for the game. How many catches?
8.
8 catches. And that's all. That's a 14 parlay. So you have heads. Darnold's the MVP, minus yards, and 8 catches for Njigba. What I've taken is tails. JSN is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Drake May will have 5 yards rushing on the first drive, and I have Jackson Smith-Njigba with 10 catches. I actually think that is a parlay that will pay you somewhere around $1,500 on a $5 bet with the odds on it. Picking the MVP is a long shot.
You get a lot of nuggies with that, bud.
Yeah, so we've got that taken care of. And
that's it for football.
That sounds like football's over.
And so is this segment. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the final segment of the Stellar Show here inside Victor Shop at the Stellar's Collectibles in the Uniontown Mall with myself, Ken Philbaum, Victor Mullick, and the Duke, who was going to cooperate, and then as soon as we started rolling, he isn't. But it is what it is. That's why he's the star of the menagerie, so we just go with it. I see you got some mention of spring training coming up. Yeah, everyone, so the Skeens Funkos are out. I got mine, Collector's Cave at Bellevue Beer. I'm going to read the address. Chuck Rimmel's always been good to the show here. 4489 Ohio River Boulevard, Pittsburgh, PA 15202. Chuck's, you get down there and check out everything Chuck's got going on because that's a good time. And speaking of a good time, sir, what do you got going on over here?
Okay, we're going to play a little bit of a game right now.
Skeens Funkos. There you go.
You want to tell them about Rick first, or you want me to just go into this?
Rick said we're good.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did I miss something?
No, you didn't. Okay. Oh. Now, we're going to play a game here. You guys at home, when you realize what I'm trying to accomplish here, raise your hand. Ken, if you realize what I'm accomplishing, don't say it until the end.
Okay.
I've got 12 names I'm going to read, and if you figure out what I'm trying to get you, try to lead you into, raise your hand. Walt Paluski, Sherman White, Lionel Antoine, Bobby Moore, Riley Odoms, Greg Sampson, Willie Buchanan, Royce Smith, Jerome Barkham, Jeff Simeon, Jerry Teague, Craig Clemens. Those are 12 names that, does anybody have any idea what those were?
That's a basketball team, correct?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, I'm out.
Those are the people, this is the anniversary of the greatest draft pick in Pittsburgh Steeler history. These guys were picked ahead of him.
Who are they? Who was the greatest draft pick? I'm sorry.
Franco Harris was drafted, what is it, 40 years ago today?
Franco's one of my favorite Steelers of all time.
That's why this was good.
But I don't know if I could say he's the greatest Steeler draft pick.
Who would be the greatest Steeler draft pick?
That's hard to...
There are 13 teams that really wish they had that pick back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, those are the players picked ahead of the great Franco Harris.
And you know what? That's their loss. And it's been 50 years, not 40.
50? That's correct.
No, it's been more than that. This is like... Franco would have been drafted 72, 73.
72.
Yeah, this is 2026.
53 years, right?
53, 54.
Something like that. But anyways, that was a fun little thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have got that in the 6-7 range there, but you know what? I let it ride out to 13 and embarrassed myself. Yes, I had to do that. So what do we got here? What else?
Right now, I'm just happy I got you on that. You want to open a pack from one of these weird boxes that I recently purchased?
Let's go with this one.
The Looney Tunes one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, these are hermetically sealed, I guess, from the factory. So this might take a minute to do. I'm really surprised you didn't get the Franco thing.
You know what? Hey, so...
Because you are the smartest... He is the smartest draft guy I know.
Well, that's why, like I said, I mean...
You know what?
When they moved up to get Polamalu, the way
you would take that over Franco? I'm doing this the absolute worst way humanly possible because the tape on this box is unbelievable.
Drafting Ben.
What the box is Looney Tunes baseball back in, what, 1990?
Oh, no, this is... Yeah, you're right. This is 90. Okay.
1990?
Yeah.
So let's open a pack of those up.
Okay, first one to pull Bugs.
Nice. I think Nolan Ryan's are in here.
Or Ephraim, as they referred to him on Family Guy the one time.
I've never watched an episode of that.
Family Guy?
Never one.
Oh. All right, so...
I think that's Yosemite Sam I got. Is that right?
Yeah.
Not bad. Another Yosemite Sam. Bingo, it's over.
I was going to say, I think I got Bugs there. Isn't that Bugs?
Maybe. Steve, yeah, that's Bugs.
Can't go wrong with Wile E. Coyote.
I thought these had players.
No, the Roadrunner. There's old Yosemite again.
There's Duke taking the ball away from, I think, Porky Pig. There's the official logo. That's probably the most valuable. Dog digging.
There you go.
So yeah, that was fun. 85 cents a pack back in the day. Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I would have rather. I would have went for, let's see, 1990. Who was the big rookie that year? What, Frank Thomas?
Yeah, with Chipper. No,
91.
Chipper was 91.
Yeah. Wow. So you know what? The old timer list. Were you picking one or two off of that to get back to that?
I was taking L.C. Greenwood and Roger Craig. Ken Anderson, to me, I don't feel
it's
it.
on the it's too.
But Roger Craig was the first player in NFL 1,000.
Yeah, that should have got him in first ballot. And Greenwood, like we talked about. Sorry, I don't remember It's been a long week as we're still thawing out. But anything before we close this up, sir?
I'm pretty happy with this.
All right, get up to the Stellar's Collectible Shop, see what Victor's got going on, and check out Rise Wrestling next. We'll see you next week.